All right, thank you guys. Welcome to Brock Page Productions. And as always, I'm your fearless host, Brock Page, and I do sports picks for free right here on YouTube. By the way, up front, let me just tell you that if you end up liking this video, please do me a favor and just give it a thumbs up. That would certainly mean the world to me, and it'll also let me know that I'm on the same page with you and that the content, is moving in the right direction. Plus, it'll actually, if you end up hitting that like button, it'll actually give a lot of other people a chance to see this video if you smash that like button as well. Now, if you haven't already become I guess we'll call it a Brockamaniac, please feel free to do that right now by hitting that subscribe button. And with that said, guys, let's go ahead and dive into some college basketball action. We got our first game queued up on the big screen behind us, ready to go. Excuse me. It is going to be Creighton versus Kansas. Sorry, guys, I said the other day, I don't have COVID, but I've got this nagging cough that won't go away. But anyway, Creighton versus Kansas, 8 versus 5, and that's going to be a 5 p.m. Eastern tip-off at the Allen Fieldhouse. The Kansas Jayhawks are -4 with the total at 149 flat. We're 4-1 in our last 5 extra daily picks on patreon.com/BrockPage. And if you want to access today's extra daily pick, it's only going to cost you just $2.99. Now, we currently have over 725 members signed up and active on that site. And if you want to join those folks and get in on the action, link for that site is in the description section below. And once again, that's patreon.com/BrockPage. Now, Creighton failed to cover the number against Kennesaw State in their last outing. The Blue Jays also failed to cover the point spread in 2 out of their last 3. Creighton's leading scorer, Christian Bishop, has yet to record an assist this season or hit a three-pointer. Meanwhile, their second leading scorer, Marcus Zagorowski, he's hit just 7 of 22 from downtown. Now, they're taking on a Kansas team who's on a 3-game winning streak themselves. They held their opponents to just 65 points per game during that stretch. Now, we want to take a look here at Ochai Agbaji, who's scoring over 16 points a night along with 3 rebounds and a couple assists. Agbaji is also hitting 42% from downtown, and he's also recorded 7 steals and 4 blocks on the season. Freshman forward Jalen Wilson's also dropping 15 a game along with 9 rebounds, and sophomore Christian Braun is scoring 13 a game along with 7 boards and a steal. Braun actually has recorded 7 total steals on the season himself. Now, total-wise, 2 out of Kansas's last 3 ball games got over the posted number, throwing out that North Dakota State game. Meanwhile, the Creighton Blue Jays on the other side of things saw their last 2 ball games get over the line themselves. So with all that said and done, I'm going to lean toward the Kansas Jayhawks -4 and the over 149 in that game. And before we go ahead and move on, just want to take another quick timeout and welcome you to the video. Got some lines and personal leans out for college basketball here on a Tuesday. Hopefully you had a great Monday, a great start to your week. Now, before we go ahead and dive into some more free content right here on YouTube, just have to quickly remind you once again that we are 4-1 in our last 5 extra daily picks on patreon.com/BrockPage. And if you want to unlock today's extra daily pick, it's only going to cost you just $2.99. We're also a perfect 5-0 in our last 5 college basketball tier package picks on that site as well. And although we don't have a CBB tier pick today, we do have one fired up and ready to go for tomorrow. Now, you might be wondering, why would you sign up for, picks on Patreon and pay for them, where you can get them right here for free on YouTube? And it's certainly a great, thought, a great consideration, a great concern. If I were you watching me here on YouTube, I'd probably be thinking the same thing myself. But just hear me out real quick, because if you were to go out there and bet every single game that's on the board, side and total, like I do with my breakdowns here on YouTube, it's certainly not a winning formula for success. And as a matter of fact, it's a recipe for disaster. The books are way too smart. They're, way too sharp with the numbers. It's just not a good idea betting every single game on the board. If you do that, the odds become just massively more against you. And to be honest with you, the bookies just have so much more money than you and I do combined to be able to absorb that type of action. So what I do on Patreon is I make life a lot easier for you. I break it down and focus in on just 3 to 4 premium selections per day. They're my personal plays, games that I personally have action on. And I'll tell you this much, I'm having a lot more success betting on games that way versus betting on every single game on the slate side in total. Now, guys, if you are curious about signing up, we got a ton of people signed up on that site. We actually have currently over 725 members signed up and active on that page. And if you want to join those folks and get in on the action, link for that site is in the description section below. And once again, that's patreon.com/BrockPage. And guys, one final thing. I kind of started the video off mentioning this to you, but it's really important. If you guys end up really enjoying this video, please do me a favor and just give it a thumbs up. That would once again mean so much to me, and it'll also give a lot of other people a chance to actually see this video as well. And of course, if you haven't already, if you haven't become a Brockamaniac, please feel free to do so right now by hitting that subscribe button right now. All right, guys, let's go ahead and move on, and we are going to take a look at Purdue versus Miami, and that's going to be a 5 p.m. Eastern start time at the Watsco Center. The Purdue Boilermakers are -2, totals 137.5. Now, we are seeing early money on the Boilermakers and the under in this one. It was a 2-point move toward Purdue and a 2.5-point move downward on the number. So once again, Purdue opened as a pick, now -2. Total open 140 down to 137.5. The Miami Hurricanes are plus $1.20 for some money line cash. Now Miami failed to cover the number in their season opener against North Florida. The Canes' leading scorer, Isaiah Wong, he's shooting just 22% from downtown. Now they are taking on a Purdue squad who's on a 2-game winning streak themselves, and it's just 55 points a game they gave up on average during that short span. Now the Boilermakers are also 3-1 straight up on the season, with their lone loss coming against a solid Clemson team. Purdue's led by junior guard Sasha Stefanovic, who's scoring 14 points a game along with 4 assists and a couple of rebounds. Sasha's hit an impressive 15 of 27 from beyond the arc, good for 56% in that category. Freshman center Zach Edey is scoring 14 a night along with 5 boards himself. And freshman guard Jaden Ivey's also scoring a dozen a night. Now this Purdue squad is scoring nearly 80 points a game through their first 4 contests. And when it comes to the total on this one, 3 out of Purdue's last 4 games did get over the posted number. Meanwhile, Miami's most recent outing with Stetson got over the line themselves. I'm going to lean toward Purdue -2 and the over 137.5 in that ball game. All right, next matchup, it is going to be Ohio State versus Notre Dame, 7:30 p.m. Eastern tip-off at the Joyce Center. Ohio State's -5.5, totals 141, juice to the over. Steady money on the Buckeyes and the over in this one. It was a 1.5-point move toward Ohio State, 1.5-point move upward on the number. So once again, Buckeyes open 4, up to 5.5, total open 139.5, up to 141. The Fighting Irish are plus $2 for an outright win. They're coming fresh off a solid 8-point victory over Detroit. Prentice Hub is scoring 21 points a game along with 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Junior forward Nate Lecheski is also scoring 14 a game and averaging double-digit rebounds for the Irish. Nate's also hit 4 of 5 from three-land. And junior guard Dane Goodwin is also scoring 14 a night along with 9 boards and 3 assists. They're taking on an Ohio State team who failed to cover the number against UMass Lowell. Dwayne Washington shooting just 37% from the field through 3 ball games. Now, total-wise, the Buckeyes' last 2 straight stayed under the number. Meanwhile, Notre Dame's most recent outing with Detroit stayed under the line themselves. Give me the underdog Notre Dame Fighting Irish plus 5.5 and the under 141. Next matchup, North Carolina versus Iowa, 16 versus 3, and that's going to be a 7:30 p.m. Eastern start time. The Iowa Hawkeyes are -3 with the total at 158.5. We're seeing steady money on the Tar Heels and the over in this one. 1.5 point move toward UNC and a 3 point move upward on the number. Once again, Iowa open 4.5 down to 3. Total open 155.5 up to 158 and a hook. Tar Heels are plus $1.35 for an outright win. The Tar Heels are coming fresh off a 2 point loss against Texas. The Longhorns held UNC to just 67 total points. The Heels have also failed to cover the point spread in their last 2 straight. Garrison Brooks has made just 11 of 22 from the foul line. Meanwhile, R.J. Davis is shooting just 40% from the field. They're taking on an undefeated Iowa team who's scoring 100 points a game on average. The Hawkeyes are coming fresh off a 41-point victory over Western Illinois, where they were actually laying 32 points and covered the number with ease. Luka Garza scoring 34 a game along with 10 rebounds. Garza's also made 21 of 26 from the stripe and has recorded 8 blocks through 3 ball games. Joe Wieskamp is also scoring a dozen a game along with 6 rebounds. Wieskamp is connecting on 50% of his three-pointers, and freshman forward Patrick McCaffrey is scoring 11 a game along with 4 rebounds and a couple assists. Iowa's gone 2-1 against the spread in their 3 games this season. The one game they failed to cover was a contest where they were minus 28 and won by 27. Missed it by just 1 point. Now, total-wise, Iowa's 3-0 to the over thus far in the season. Give me the Iowa Hawkeyes minus 3 and the over 158.5. Next game, Penn State, Virginia Tech, 9 p.m. Eastern tip-off. The Hokies are minus 5.5, totals 141 and a hook. We're seeing early money on the Hokies and the over in this one. 1 point move toward Virginia Tech, 1 point move upward on the number. Once again, Virginia Tech open 4.5 up to 5.5, total open 140 and a hook, up to 141.5. The Nittany Lions are plus $1.95 for an upset win. Now the Lions are coming off a tough loss against Seton Hall, gave up 98 total points to the Pirates in that one. Penn State's also failed to cover the point spread in their last 2 straight. Marion Jones is shooting just 28% from the field and only 21% from beyond the arc. And Isaiah Brockington's also shooting just 25% from downtown himself. Now they're taking on an undefeated Virginia Tech squad who took care of the likes of USF and Villanova during that stretch. The Hokies have successfully covered the number in 2 out of their last 3. Kaveh Aluma is scoring 18 points a night along with 7 rebounds. Aluma's also recorded 5 blocks and has hit 6 of 13 from downtown. Tyrese Radford is also scoring 13 a game along with 6 boards and 3 assists. Radford's also shooting 91% from the foul line. And Naheem Alani is also scoring 11 a game along with a couple of boards. Alani shooting 89% from the stripe himself. Now the Hokies are giving up just 62 points per contest. And when it comes to the total in this one, 3 out of Virginia Tech's last 4 ball games got over the posted number. Meanwhile, Penn State's most recent outing with Seton Hall got 43 points above the line themselves. Give me the Virginia Tech Hokies minus 5.5 and the over 141.5 in that ball game. Next matchup, Syracuse, Rutgers. Rutgers is minus 4, total 140. The Orange are plus $1.65 for an outright win. Syracuse is 3-0 straight up on the season, 82 points a game they're scoring in those contests. Alan Griffin is scoring 17 points a night along with 7 rebounds and 4 assists. Griffin's also hitting 46% of his shots from downtown. Quincy Guerriere is scoring 16 a game along with 11 rebounds a night. Meanwhile, Joe Girard III is getting a dozen a night along with 4 rebounds and 4 assists. Total-wise, 2 out of Rutgers' last 3 ball games got over the total of 140. Give me the underdog Syracuse Orange plus 4 and the over 140 in that game. And with that, we're going to dive into our next and final matchup. Illinois versus Duke, 9:30 p.m. Eastern tip-off at Cameron Indoor. The Duke Blue Devils are minus 3.5, totals 146 and a hook. Seeing early money on the Fighting Illini in the under in this one. 0.5 point move toward Illinois and a 1.5 point move downward on the number. Once again, Duke open 4 down to 3.5. Total open 148 down to 146 and a hook. Illinois is plus 150 for an upset win. Illinois is 3-1 straight up on the season this year. They successfully covered the number in their opening 2 ball games. Ayo Dosunmu is scoring 24 points a game along with 7 rebounds, 6 assists. Dosunmu is shooting 50% from the field, 47% from beyond the arc. Adam Miller is also dropping 15 a game along with a couple of rebounds for the freshman guard. Of course, big Kofi Coburn is scoring 13 a night along with 10 rebounds and a block. Kofi's actually recorded 4 total blocks on the season thus far. Now they're taking on a Duke squad who's 0-3 against the spread thus far in the season. They also lost their second game of the 2020 season to Michigan State, scoring just 69 total points in that contest. Total-wise, Duke's season opener with Coppin State did get over the posted number. Meanwhile, Illinois' last 2 straight got over the line themselves. 3-1 to the over for the entire season. Give me the Illinois Fighting Illini plus 3.5 and the over 146 and a hook in that game. And with that, we're going to dive into our quick pick recap brought to you by patreon.com/BrockPage, where we are 4-1 in our last 5 extra daily picks on that site. I like Kansas -4 against Creighton over 149. Purdue -2 against the Miami Hurricanes over 137.5. Notre Dame plus 5.5, keeping it close with Ohio State under 141. Iowa -3 against UNC over 158.5. Virginia Tech -5.5 against Penn State over 141.5. Syracuse +4 against Rutgers over 140. And last but certainly not least, please give this video a like if you enjoyed it. And please make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. I like the Illinois Fighting Illini plus 3.5, keeping it close against Duke, and the over 146.5 in that contest. And with that, we're going to dive into some shout-outs here from our YouTube platform. Shout out to Mexico's 31 Tapia, Saw Sensei Master Drip Lord, Vernon Williard, Bo Dunn, C. Dinger, Pittsburgh Gentleman PA, Demetrius Milonis, Armando Garcia, Sachin Sonar, and last but certainly not least, gotta give a shout out to my man, Tremaine Jordan. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on Patreon. If you guys decide to get a package here today, just keep in mind we'll bill you the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. But most importantly, guys, got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, happy Tuesday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage.